Okay, so get this. We're diving into a document today. It's like a cross between, a lost family scrapbook, but also like prophecies straight out of ancient times.
Yeah.
It's called Ang Aklatan, and, it hints at all kinds of really captivating stuff.
Like what?
Well, religious teachings, visions, genealogies,
Right.
even a lost order,
Wow.
and a hidden repository of treasure. So our mission today is to try to follow that narrative thread.
Okay.
See if we can figure out the key players, the main events,
Right.
and maybe even decode some of the underlying messages or themes
Sounds good.
in this unique text.
All right.
So let's dive into that first section, which kind of lays out the foundational teachings of this religious order.
Right. So this section highlights the core tenets.
Okay.
One, God.
Yeah.
The importance of faith and baptism.
Uh-huh.
The role of grace.
Okay.
And then also a hierarchical structure for religious leadership.
It's interesting, though, because even with that hierarchy,
Yeah.
there's this idea that
Yeah.
everyone kind of has a different level of grace.
Right.
And that influences their roles
Yeah.
and their understanding.
Yeah, it's not a one-size-fits-all approach,
Yeah.
which, is actually pretty progressive for a religious order when you think about it.
I know.
Yeah.
It really is.
It suggests that knowledge and spiritual growth are ongoing processes.
Yeah.
And this is emphasized even more
Oh,
by the
yeah.
speaker's personal experience of speaking in tongues,
Oh, wow.
which is seen as a manifestation of God's power.
Flowing through him.
Right.
Yeah.
So, adding that experiential dimension to their faith.
Yeah, and there's also this really powerful quote. Now you shall spread this work forth, first among the weak and poor, and they will gather strength from this work.
That's powerful.
Yeah, I mean, it almost feels like a call to action
Right.
to empower the marginalized.
Absolutely.
Does this resonate with any of the social or political movements that you see today?
It certainly does.
Yeah.
I mean, this idea of empowering the weak and poor, it's a recurring theme throughout history.
It really is.
So it makes me think of movements focused on social justice,
Uh-huh.
economic equality,
Right.
and also, the rights of marginalized communities.
Yeah.
This quote really suggests that this order believed that their teachings
Right.
could actually uplift and empower
Yeah.
those who are often overlooked
Right.
or oppressed.
It's a powerful message that transcends time and cultures, for sure.
Absolutely.
Now, Section 2 introduces us to a couple essential figures.
Okay.
Surin
Right.
and his uncle, Ingemegi.
Yeah.
They're the last of this righteous order. Yeah.
And their story has that classic hero's journey feel to it, doesn't it?
Yeah, really does.
A journey into the jungle,
Uh-huh.
revelation of hidden records,
Yeah.
a cleansing ritual,
Right.
and then ultimately the passing of the mantle.
The initiation process is like a test
It is. It is.
of Surin's commitment
Yeah.
and like his preparedness
Yeah.
for this huge responsibility
Exactly.
of preserving those records
Right.
and restoring this ancient order.
It really highlights the weight of legacy
It does.
and the importance of carrying on these traditions, right?
Absolutely, it does.
Yeah.
And then there's the mission itself,
Okay.
because that they should go forth among all the inhabitants of this land, that the land may be cleansed.
Cleansing the land.
Yeah. What do you think that could signify in this context?
I mean, it's a question that requires a lot more analysis, I think,
Right.
but it could refer to purifying the physical environment,
Okay.
maybe addressing pollution
Uh-huh.
or unsustainable practices. But it could also be metaphorical, right?
Right.
Suggesting a need to eradicate
Yeah.
spiritual or moral corruption
Within society.
within society.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Or maybe it's even both,
Maybe
acknowledging that interconnectedness.
of a physical and spiritual realms.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that reminds me of why you were initially drawn to Ang Aklatan, wasn't it?
It was.
This potential for understanding a different worldview.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And this idea of cleansing really hints at how this order saw their role in the world.
It does. It really does.
Yeah.
Now, this is where things get really interesting.
Okay.
Section 3 introduces this mystery of a hidden repository, starting with an inscription on bamboo.
Oh, wow.
This leads Suran and his sons on a quest,
Okay.
which ultimately guides them to a cave at Genus.
All right.
And this cave is full of untold treasures.
Oh, wow. What kind of treasures?
Well, the description of the cave is almost cinematic.
Okay.
Gold, silver,
Uh-huh.
ancient records, bronze artifacts, weapons.
Like a treasure trove.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
It just fuels our fascination
Absolutely.
with lost knowledge
Yeah.
and hidden history.
It's like something straight out of Indiana Jones.
I know. Right.
But what I find particularly noteworthy
What's that?
is Saran's intentions for these treasures.
Oh, that's a good
He
part.
plans to use them to build a temple
Wow.
and offer sacrifices,
Okay.
according to the Lord's instructions.
This indicates a deep reverence for the divine
It does.
and this desire to create a physical space
Yes.
dedicated to worship.
And communion with God.
Yeah.
I think we're all drawn to that idea, of
Yeah.
discovering something that's been lost or forgotten. There's a certain thrill in uncovering secrets.
Right.
And piecing together a narrative from the fragments of the past.
And this search for something hidden, for something lost.
Yeah.
It seems to be a common thread across cultures
It really does.
and throughout history. Why do you think we're so fascinated by these lost treasures and this secret knowledge?
I think it speaks to a deep-seated longing for meaning and purpose,
Yeah.
a desire to connect with something larger than ourselves. It's the same impulse that drives us to explore the unknown,
Yeah.
whether it's a hidden cave or
Okay.
the mysteries of the cosmos. In a way, we're all on a quest for hidden treasures, aren't we? Pieces of knowledge or experience that can illuminate our lives and
Right.
help us make sense of the world.
It's a beautiful way to put it.
Thank you. And it seems like that desire to connect with something bigger, it runs deep in the Ang Aklatan narrative, too. In Section 4, we're introduced to prophecies and lineages,
Right.
including this prediction
Right.
of a white man arriving from a distant land.
Interesting.
It's a prophecy that foretells both subjection and conflict,
Oh, wow.
eventually leading to the subjugation of the islands
Right.
until some future unification.
That really does set the stage for a complex and turbulent future.
It does.
It makes you wonder
Yeah.
if there are any connections to real-world historical events, particularly European colonialism in the region.
Yeah. Yeah.
How might this prophecy have shaped the actions and beliefs of the order,
Right.
especially when faced with outside forces?
That's a crucial question.
Yeah.
If taken literally,
Right.
this prophecy could have been interpreted as a warning, a sign to prepare for inevitable change
Right.
and potential conflict.
Or maybe even a test of faith,
It could be.
a
Yeah.
challenge to maintain their beliefs
Yeah.
in the face of adversity. Now, amidst all of these weighty pronouncements,
Okay.
we also find fascinating details about their practices,
Oh, okay.
like the use of putum
Okay.
to determine the Lord's will. What is that?
So putum refers to a method of divination
Okay.
using black and white stones,
Interesting.
essentially casting lots
Okay.
to discern the divine will.
So it highlights their reliance on guidance from a higher power,
Absolutely.
especially when making those big decisions.
Yeah. And the use of black and white stones specifically
Okay.
could also symbolize the duality of life,
Oh,
the interplay of light and darkness, good and evil that
Yeah.
we see so often
yeah.
in religious and philosophical thought.
It's fascinating.
It is.
How this simple practice reflects a deeper understanding of their worldview.
Right.
It makes me think of other cultures
Yeah.
and traditions
Uh-huh.
that use similar methods of divination,
Right.
like the I Ching or
Yeah.
even tarot cards.
Right. There seems to be a universal human desire to seek guidance from beyond ourselves.
It really is a reminder that while the specifics may vary, the search for meaning
Yeah.
and connection,
Absolutely.
it's a fundamental human experience. And then there's the story of Lechem,
Okay.
who takes 2 wives to fulfill a prophecy.
Interesting.
And what's surprising is that this seemingly unconventional arrangement
Right.
leads to all these positive outcomes
Okay.
and blessings for everyone involved. It challenges our assumptions, doesn't it?
It does.
And it reminds us that
Yeah.
sometimes those unexpected paths
Yeah.
can lead to fulfillment and harmony.
I think the key here is that Lechem's actions are explicitly driven by a desire to fulfill the prophecy, to align his life with the divine will.
Right.
So this suggests that within their belief system, actions that might be considered unconventional
Yeah.
or even taboo in other contexts
Right.
could actually be justified
Okay.
if they were seen as fulfilling a higher purpose.
It's a fascinating example
It is.
of how cultural norms and beliefs
Right.
can intersect.
And how a single narrative
Right.
can challenge our preconceived notions.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Speaking of challenging norms,
Okay.
Section 5 focuses on the spread of the word.
All right.
And it introduces this prophecy about 5 kings.
5 kings.
Who will establish a righteous people.
Interesting.
They come from poverty.
Okay.
They establish this righteous people.
Uh-huh.
They write a foundational book.
Right.
They even possess a throne, a stone, and a sword each.
Wow. What's particularly interesting, though,
Okay.
is the emphasis on their humility and reliance on God.
Okay.
Their power comes not from themselves, but from God.
It suggests that leadership in this context is about service and divine inspiration.
Right. Not about personal ambition or worldly dominance.
And yet they command armies.
Oh, wow.
They divert rivers.
Okay.
They destroy mountains.
Huh.
They refill dry seas.
What a curious mix of humility and incredible power.
I know.
So as we conclude this deep dive into Ang Aklatan, I'm left with this profound sense of gratitude for the opportunity to explore this unique and thought-provoking text.
It's been an incredible journey.
It has.
It really has.
It challenges our assumptions.
It does.
Sparks our curiosity and leaves us with, more questions than answers.
It's clear that we've only just begun to scratch the surface of Ang Aklatan.
We have.
And I have a feeling we'll be pondering its mysteries for a long time to come. And to you, our listener, I encourage you to continue exploring this manuscript. Seek out more information.
Yes.
Ponder its deeper meanings.
Think about what resonates most deeply with you.
Yeah.
What questions does it raise for your own understanding of faith, history, and the human search for meaning?
It's been an incredible journey. Thank you for diving deep with us. Until next time, keep exploring.